You look like you could use some help with that.
Thank you? Who are...
Care for a story?
What?
You look tired, and worse, lonely. I can fix that. I'll ask again. Would you like for me to tell you a story? It's quite good.
Sure.
After the wreckage of the Great War, the newly unified Feraelands found themselves taken advantage of by the Nine Archdevils of the Hells, conniving children of the gods who targeted struggling frontier families and soldiers, offering them wealth and otherworldly powers beyond mortal comprehension, the measly cost of their soul. Zenith, goddess of creation, couldn't bear to see her beloved mortals be taken advantage of, plucking 4 folks from different walks of life to serve as her chosen, who succeeded in reforming the relationship between the surface and the hells. In the beginning, this brought a gale of positive change to the Feraelands, but once the journey was over, time continued its cruel march, consuming our heroes and forcing them to grow jaded, resentful, disillusioned with the responsibilities placed on their heavy shoulders without any of them ever deciding it for themselves. Being a hero in the Feraelands ain't easy. It's a thankless job, and even for the fated few that were selected to be the goddess of creation's chosen, mortals on the surface are far from the virtuous and forgiving types. With each beast felled, a new, deadlier foe would arise. And as the four took on everything, from corrupt tax collectors to dragons displacing entire settlements, the unity that once bathed the Feraelands in a gold light began to dim. Years have passed since those legendary heroes were plucked from their lives and set down a path of adventuring for a higher purpose. While those heroes are weathered down by the Feraelands' never-ending storm, one faithful day, many years ago, 4 cut ties, decided to carve their own paths. At least, that's what they thought their endings were gonna be.
We'll zoom in on Yara, who is currently traveling from settlement to settlement around the Feraelands. She's kind of taken on a role of politics following the war and being a hero. And you are currently in a small village, stepping off a stage where you just had a heated political debate with somebody that you have never seen eye to eye with. This isn't something that you enjoy doing. You don't love seeing all of the townspeople gazing at you with high expectations because you're supposed to be some kind of hero, and maybe it causes you to stumble over your words or make a couple of mistakes or misspeak even. As you're stepping off the stage, you're suddenly getting flogged by journalists who are flooding you with questions about your past heroics, what you plan to do to help develop the settlement, and if you plan to help the wealth disparity from the gold rush in the West reach the central and eastern colonies. So right now you're kind of stepping off of this wooden platform and you have journalists just swarming you, and a few of them are like, Yara, can you please tell us what you plan to do to help our settlement? We're so far out from any sort of body of water or any kind of fortress. We're really struggling with money out here and our crops aren't yielding. Can you help us?
Yeah. I've been making I'm just going around to settlement, trying to get everyone to work together, trying to get irrigation flowing, trying to get water everywhere, trying to unite everyone best I can. But it's not an easy job, and hopefully you guys will help me get the word out to try to get everyone to work together like we did in the war.
As you're kind of pushing past these journalists, you can see them writing all of these furious notes about you and even making sketches of your likeness to put in their weekly papers that they're going to release. As you're sort of walking through to try and just get out of this very crowded situation, what does Yara look like these days?
since the war, she hasn't been keeping up on her exercises, so she's definitely much more skinny. She's now wearing more formal robes that are very well decorated, lots of shawls, like all these things attached to it to try to make her seem as impressive as possible. But she kind of hates it. It's cumbersome. It's heavy. Although their robes are not very comfortable, but she does it all because she feels that she's obligated to keep everything together. But she kind of walks around now almost like a zombie, just kind of her eyes aren't focused. She just kind of goes from her one job to the next, basically. So she's on her way to just go rest now. It's been a long day.
And do you think, as she's kind of walking through and trying to express the best that she can, the things that she wants to do for these people, do you think it makes her reflect on herself a little bit and her time and contributions to the war?
She mostly she doesn't really self-reflect too much. She kind of focuses on what's around her more than that. But she does kind of have a morbid, like, missing the times of war, that it was easier being able to keep things together, and then now she kind of views it as this is like pointless squabbling. Like we're no longer like dying, but no one can agree on helping each other. But so maybe if they had a common enemy or something, but now they're just kind of fighting each other once again, and she's just kind of exhausted. It feels like before there's an enemy, now there really isn't an enemy, and there's no clear way to fix it.
As you're finally kind of leaving this crowded stage, could you roll me a quick perception check?
All right, 16.
So as the crowd is sort of thinning for you and you've finally pushed your way past it, you have some assistants and things that are helping keep most of the journalists at bay. You see this older man who is obviously a workman, and his overalls are dirty. He probably works at one of the nearby mining camps. You hear him mutter under his breath. He's sort of looking to the ground, and he's muttering to himself, "Damn warmongering politicians think that they can come into our settlements and tell us how to live. All of Zenith's followers are the same." And he sort of spits on the ground in your direction, of course.
Oh, she's just gonna look over, kind of give him a look, gonna clench her fist, but she's gonna remind herself, like, you gotta keep it together. People are watching. You need to be the hero that they need right now. And so she kind of takes a breath out and just ignores him and keeps walking.
Do you think that you're staying in a proper inn, or do you think you're kind of staying more in your covered wagon?
She'd be staying at a proper inn.
Once you make it back to your room, you see a familiar face, if you could call it that, sitting in your windowsill. It's a small white and gold owl that you recognize as being one of your old friends, Zephyr's familiars. The small owl kind of looks at you and tilts its head before it goes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hey, little buddy, how are you? And she kind of has a really big smile seeing him.
Yeah, he flies a little closer to you in the room. He lands sort of right on the edge of your bed, and he's kind of looking at you with these curious eyes. And there's a pit in your stomach because you know that this means there's work to be done.
No, actually, I think that she'd be a little excited instead of having. She'd be like, finally, like I can have a reason to get out of this right now. I think, as opposed to having a pin in her stomach, she doesn't want to show it but she's actually like kind of excited.
Yeah, she's trying to hide it a little bit. You see that there's a little ribbon tied around his neck with a piece of paper attached.
All right, yeah, I'll take it out and give it a look.
The message is simple. It's written from Zephyr, who is a messenger of Zenith. And it's a very short missive that's just requesting that you head to the western coast of the Feraelands as quickly as possible to investigate a monster at Hurstison's Vein, which is a mining camp that has been pretty well renowned in recent years for the gold rush. It's unusual for Zephyr's messages to be so short. Usually she digs into you all for some kind of mistake that you've made or your recent behavior, but it's almost just a single sentence.
Oh, well, she's going to be like, well, I'll get right on it and have a chest. Well, she's going to have her chest with her equipment in it, ready to go at all times, put on her gear. She's going to wait till nighttime, put on her elven cloak, and sneak out in the middle of the night.
Sneak out of her political
Yep.
duties.
Not going to say a word to anyone, just going to leave.
She's taking the week off. And as we fade away from Yara sneaking away in the night, we instead zoom in the broad daylight of Judicia, who is currently sitting in a saloon. It's pretty dusty inside. It's your average settlement town, more towards the western coast. So a lot of dry air, dry heat happening. And as you're sitting, kind of just enjoying your day, two petty criminals walk in. You kind of recognize their faces because once you entered town, you noticed that there were wanted signs hung up for each of them. Jedediah and Judah are their names, twins who've been causing issues. As you're sitting at the bar at the saloon, the two of them walk over and they start picking on the barkeep a little bit. You see that they're giving her a hard time and picking out every little thing they can about the drinks that she makes for them. It starts getting to a point where one of them is standing towards the entryway of the bar, Jedediah, while the other is sort of leaning himself over it, demanding that he won't pay. He's looking at this poor young woman and he's saying things like,
"And I don't reckon you have any way to stop me from not putting gold down here on this bar, do ya?"
And you see the young woman, she's trying to come up with arguments to rebuke their statements, but she's clearly getting very nervous and clearly getting very uncomfortable with the whole situation. And she's kind of looking around for help.
Yeah, I think you hear Judicia coming before you see her. She's fully clad in plate armor and adorned with prayer beads and, ornaments that are reminiscent of her goddess. So just kind of that clacking of the beads as she walks up and just gently places a hand on this criminal's shoulder. Let's step outside.
Is she grabbing the one that's leaning himself over the bar? Okay. He kind of turns his head back really quick and he's like, "I'm sorry. Who are you again?"
You'll come to find out, boy. Boy, right? Is that fair to assume?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll come to find out.
He's probably shorter than
Oh,
you.
definitely. I wouldn't say that she's super tall, but she's definitely taller than average,
Yeah. Can make any weak man look little.
Yeah. I mean, such a hulking figure. I think she dwarfs anybody. And that's she just postures herself to take this person outside. I don't think they really have a choice.
You're wanting to do a 2-on-1 duel with the J brothers?
2-on-1. I'm sorry, I'm unclear. The both of you, that counts as two people?
Obviously.
Well, and I think she, from her pocket will slam the gold that was owed to this poor barkeep and usher these people outside to get it started.
Perfect. Yeah. They follow you out. They're kind of in the classic Western position of just expecting this to be a normal draw duel. So they're sort of standing there bracing themselves to fire at you. Could you roll me really quick, just a quick dex check or initiative, if you will, to see how much faster you are than these two coming in on them.
Now, she's not fast at all, so she's all tank and no move.
She's a force, but
that is a 17 on the die. I don't have any pluses to that, so
lucky for you, both of them rolled spectacularly low. So as you kind of get the jump on these two guys, what do you do to them?
Bear with me. I knew I would start combat, but I also was like, I shouldn't do combat today. So I am gonna do my vow of enmity, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Perfect.
I think I can only do it on one, and that is it is just a bonus action. I gain advantage, and then I want to do my non-escape justice while using my Zenith's gavel, and I think she's quite flashy with it. I think it just
what does this look like as you you target this poor petty criminal and make him you make a message out of him just in the middle of this town square.
I think it's chains, obviously, that like come around and like find around this person that are like sort of glowing, with a holy energy, and then I think they make a Constitution saving throw.
He rolled a very sad and very humble 9.
Yeah, so that's not Okay, yeah, he cannot move, suffers 2d10 radiant damage. He's kind of stuck there, so I'll go ahead and I'll roll that 2d10.
Perfect. Yeah, so these, like, as soon as you target him with your vow, these chains sort of rupture from nowhere and bind themselves to him. And obviously these two twins were sort of expecting to just pull their guns out and shoot you. So having these holy chains wrap themselves around at least one of them has them both kind of freaking out. The other one doesn't want to leave his brother behind, but you can see that he's clearly unnerved. While the other one is obviously like he's pulling on these chains and trying to figure out any kind of way he can to slither out of it and run for it.
Let me just see what I get here. I don't think it's gonna be. Yeah, I rolled kind of bad, so it's just gonna be 10 radiant damage from that. And then I think she kind of just points to the one that isn't bounded, or is it bound? Bound. There we go.
Bound.
Yeah. And what god do you serve?
Are you one of them religious nuts?
Answer the question.
The Feraelands are a lawless land. I don't follow any god. I don't let ne'er a god or devil tell me what to do.
What laws do you follow?
I just said it's a lawless land. If anything, I follow the J Brothers law.
Are you worthy of salvation?
I don't need salvation. I just need gold to fill my pockets and drink in my flask.
As I thought. And I think with that, she's just gonna start taking blows at these two. Just not even merciful. We're taking them out. We don't need them in this world, That's kind of
just
her vibe.
With the hammer.
Yes.
Beating them in. I think it's probably fair to say that these two petty criminals don't get much of a chance to fight back. Of course, you take them down, the chains dissipate, and the light sort of fades from your divine judgment. The barkeep walks out of the bar. She sort of rushes out. She sees the viscera that you've left behind, and she says, I'm sorry. I don't want to bother you. I don't know what that was. But are you one of, Zenith's chosen?
And I think with that, she kind of postures herself like in that holier than thou sort of, well, I guess I am, child. Are you aware of the good word of our goddess?
Oh, my mama and I, we go to chapel every week.
Beautiful. I think just patting her head like, yes.
Like, good. I've seen the stained glass of you. Are the other 3 here?
Not that I'm aware of.
I've just heard so many stories about y'all and all of the good deeds that you do. It helps
drive me and my mama in the right direction every day toward the Golden Lady's light. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And with this, I think you feel completely justified in all of the violence you just committed and probably have ever committed.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll say after this young barkeep girl sort of thanks you, where do you think Judicia goes after that? What does she do? Where does she go?
I think probably to go wash her hands of the blood and viscera of these criminals that she has freed the land of. So wherever like maybe the nearest like bathhouse of sorts or even a stream would work as long as it's secluded
Sure.
enough. Just to cleanse herself and do her prayers and settle
We
down.
could even say maybe there's like a well close to the saloon, right? And she draws up a bucket of water and just scrubs her hands out of the bucket really quick. And, you know, as she's kind of got her head down and wiping her hands kind of furiously of blood, you suddenly from above you hear the sound of flapping wings and whoo.
I think I think she would recognize it as you know what it
She
is.
just looks
and,
up, still kind of
Yeah. Kind of in a daze of like, oh, I gotta get clean.
like, oh man, she can't see this. She's gonna know. When you see Zephyr's familiar situating his landing on the very top of the well, you see that he has the ribbon tied around his neck with a little paper note. What do you think Judicia anticipates this note being? What kind of notes do you think she's received from Zephyr in the past?
Well, okay. So Zephyr is an old friend who is a follower just like us.
Yeah, she's a celestial that sort of works as a messenger for you guys. So while she mostly works to deliver quests to you guys, she's also known you since you were very young and rowdy. So she's also not afraid to scold you when you need to be scolded, even if you're much older now.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a moment of like, oopsies. Because Judicia knows herself and she does tend to take it too far, but she also knows she does it for the right reasons in her, in her defense. So maybe for a moment there's like a glimpse of like that past where she may have pushed it too far and is about to get a scolding, but then now kind of older is like, oh, now it's time to do some more good. And so it kind of goes from that like moment of nervousness to like pride that she always exudes for like, her religion and her goddess, and very eagerly like reaches up to fetch the note.
As you take it and you unfold it, maybe expecting paragraphs, you just see a single sentence that is urging you to go to Herstenson's vein in the name of justice.
With the simplicity of that, I think she's quick with it, like, oh, this is serious. No flagrancy, there's no pretty words involved, it's straightforward, we have to go. Discarding everything she doesn't need and just
packs up her things and just starts running.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, fully the clinking of her plate armor and beads against it. Yeah.
And with that, we'll fade out of the dusty settlement, and instead, we'll go into more of the wilderness, the woods. And Talia, could you tell me what you sort of look like right now as you are tracking the very familiar footsteps of an owlbear?
Yes. So we come in on this scene and we see Talia crouched down, one knee on the ground, the other just sort of up. She has one of her elbows resting on it, just kind of looking very intently at these trackings. She is a very large, I would say fairly like fit in the way somebody who does a lot of like upper body like exercises and movements are, muscular and that sort of thing. And she is a bronze dragonborn, but she's older now, so I think maybe her scales don't quite shimmer in the light that they did when she was younger, a little bit more dull. She's wearing this black, like, overcoat that kind of comes down to her ankles. She has a black cowboy hat with twigs kind of entwined along each other through the base, and has a like dark red bandana tied around her neck, not over her face, just kind of hangs there. And I think she's looking very intently at these tracks right now, kind of muttering to herself a little bit like, all right, so I have to assume this creature's nearby, at least I think so. And it's just kind of has a very much look of like determination on her face as she's here in this area.
Do you think it's been a long time since Talia has been able to just hunt and track for leisure as opposed to doing it because of divine calling, or in your case, sort of just being told to do something by the goddess that chose you?
I think that's why there's such a look of like focus and determination on her face, is because her brain is trying to figure out how to do so that way that hasn't been told to do it from someone else, because that's kind of been how her brain has been programmed. So she's kind of like simultaneously going through the steps in which she was taught, but also like dismissing it in a way of like, I don't need to do it exactly like that. I could do it, this way. I've always thought that this rule was a little silly. I don't have to do like that. And so I think that's kind of what's going through her brain as she's looking at these tracks.
As she's sort of reflecting and making her own rules now, could you give me a quick nature check to discern how old these tracks are?
Yes, I can. That'll be a 13.
Perfect. So you can tell that these tracks are pretty fresh. This is an owlbear that likely stomped through this area recently and does so frequently. You can actually see that in other parts of the woods, there are similar tracks that are older but of the same size.
Okay.
And they seem to be going the same direction.
Okay, I think with that knowledge, she would very, like, gently and quietly kind of get up and, like, look to follow these tracks further inward.
As you're sort of walking and listening to the sound of the forest around you, what is some of the stuff that you're reflecting on with Talia's background, and of course with over the past few years sort of separating herself from the group of people that she traveled with for so long? These moments of quiet are probably pretty new to her, at least in recent years.
Yeah, definitely new in recent years. I don't think she entirely knows how to hold herself being alone. She's always, especially all of these years, has existed in proximity to others. And she's so large as well. And I feel like she's always kind of been like, body language wise, just sort of like friendly towards others. And so I don't think she entirely knows how to be alone, especially doing something like this in which she has always done with others. And so I think that if we were to get like a peek into her head, I think we're kind of seeing this sort of scene through almost like a smaller statured person, not as tall. One of the first things that she had ever hunted and tracked was an owlbear with her family. And I feel like it's this weird, like, uncanny sense of deja vu she's feeling in this moment of, like, this is odd. And, like, I'm doing this. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And am I doing this right? Do I need to ask myself that? I don't think I need to ask myself that. Let's just focus on the task at hand. And she's like muttering these things like aloud, almost as if she's waiting for some sort of response, and then doesn't get that. But she keeps talking because I don't think she likes the silence.
Just, I think, as she's losing herself in this uncertainty of the silence, she starts to hear a small coo that sounds like an owlbear. It's just up ahead. What do you think she would do after hearing that noise? It sort of cuts through the silence that was impeding on your mind.
I think in that moment, she sort of like freezes and almost forgets like what to do. I think she was like, yeah, no, I'm tracking this thing, and then was like, oh shit, that thing is there now. I was so lost and caught up in like what I was thinking and doing, and I think she kind of like tries her best to sneakily like get into like a position to like try to see if she could peek through and like see if she could see it before she like does anything, you know?
Give me a quick stealth check.
Okay. I have advantage on those because I have boots. That will be a 19.
Okay, perfect. So you find a bush close by that you're able to hunker down in really quickly without making much noise. And as you sort of peer through the leaves, you see this hulking adult owlbear. It doesn't seem to be close to a small cave like where owlbears would usually reside.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to a small stream. It looks like it's sort of maybe looking for small fish or even just stopping to get a drink of water. But as you're sort of looking at this adult owlbear, maybe you kind of start thinking about how in the past when you've gone hunting with your parents, how ferocious these things get in combat. And just in this moment, while you're looking at it, you can tell how serene and quiet it is. How does that make you feel, seeing something that is treated as being so terrifying and so monstrous to amateur hunters just existing in its natural habitat?
So when she was doing this, I don't think she fully had an end goal in mind. I think that she was trying to maybe think about like, okay, why am I doing this? What is the purpose that I am doing this for? I'm just kind of out here. I don't know entirely why I decided to be out here. And I think especially seeing this moment that is contradictory from everything she's ever been told or has like kind of seen up to this point, I think we see her face kind of just like furrow, like she's thinking 1,000 thoughts a minute of just everything she's been told. Oh, these are beasts, these are monsters, these are things that we need to like, you know, try to contain and figure out, and because they will hurt, you know, nearby settlers and they'll wreck villages, and if we let them, you know, roam free, what will that do to the settlements around them? And it's like having all of that noise, but then seeing something that's not doing that. And so I think we just see her confused just watching this. I don't think she's going to do anything. I don't think she plans to do anything. I think she's just going to watch and think.
Yeah. As she's sitting and watching, you know, you see this owlbear just living its natural life as it's sort of intended to. And finally, as it makes its small coos and sounds, you suddenly hear a very shrill sound fill the air as two small owlbear cubs sort of stumble their way out of the other side of the wood, and the adult owlbear raises its head and acknowledges the two cubs. You can discern that they're probably her children, and they sort of start stomping off into the woods together.
Yeah, I think with that, she'll just kind of watch them go off. I think maybe a small, soft smile on her face, seeing this very kind scene, this scene that is so, I think, in this world, pure in a way, and it's an odd feeling for her, and it's simultaneously a nice one. And so I think she just watches them go off.
I think as she's kind of losing herself in just watching this cuddly little owlbear family stomping into the woods, you'll hear a flapping sound behind you as Zephyr's owl familiar flutters down and has a ribbon tied around its neck with a note.
I think for a second she ignores it. It's a sound that she like knows and is familiar with, and waits for the owlbear family to like clear and no longer in her line of sight. And then she'll just kind of and turn to where the sound came from.
You see Zephyr's familiar tilt his head, and he whoos at you. And you know, from that sound, it means that there's work that needs to be done.
All right. Give me a second. And she'll reach for what's tied around his neck, the little note.
Just like Yara's, it's a short, to-the-point note, which is uncharacteristic of Zephyr, telling you to, at your quickest convenience, head to Herstenson's Vein.
I think she'll just be like, that was nice while it lasted. And she already has all of her like gear and stuff on her. I think once she sees it, she'll look back one more time where she saw the owlbear family, and then head off to where she needs to go.
We'll zoom in on a seedy bar inside of what used to be sort of like a military fortress settlement where soldiers would go to lick their wounds or what have you during the war. But now it's sort of been turned into a small town, which is mostly known for its gambling halls and bars. And we zoom in on Ansel at the bottom of a bottle with another one being handed off to him. As you're kind of sitting there, what do you think he's up to? Has he been gambling, or has this just been a bender of a night?
He is actively gambling, drinking. I think he's on a nasty bender, but also has lost all of his money. And in that, immediately just lets out like a another round for the entire tavern, please and thank you. And is like just kind of accepting any of the like pats on the back that he gets from the intention of buying people drinks. And
because there's people here who know that they know your face. They know that you're this legendary hero, and they're like, wow, he's partying with us and buying us drinks. So you've got a good crowd going around you.
And upon looking at him, even though he is soaked in ales and liquors, and through all that, you see what can only be described as the clothes of a holy man and the armor of a holy man, as he is a cleric. He's broad-shouldered, barrel-chested. He's now beer-bellied. He is just a large, imposing man with a salt and pepper beard and sort of, at this point, unkept, like almost shoulder-length hair that typically, I think, if you were to see portraits or the glass stains of him, was often kept short and trim like any good soldier would. And now it's long and unkept and salt and peppery, and he is this darker-skinned, like brown-skinned human, like a tan, kind of midday, like, you know, Midwest, like Westerner human. Very like early California, like cowboy colored, along with like his kind of clothing, even though it's tanned and burnt out by the sun and the drinks. And yeah, he's another slams a drink down, slides something to somebody else, losing money, spending money. I have to assume he has so much gold and money and finances, and he gambles it and blows it at all times.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I think the barkeeps here, they know you. And they know when you walk through the door, it's going to be a party. So you even have, like, some of the bartenders, they're coming over and they're really checking on you. And they're like, oh, Ansel, sir, I saw that bottle's half.
Hold on.
Yes.
Roll a barrel out for my friends. A full barrel. Don't even bring up the cost. We're going to share a barrel, and we're going to gamble together. And I'm going to take all their money.
Yes, sir. And you see this skinny little bar boy go back, and he starts, like, pushing out this giant barrel, and he runs back over to you, and he's like, sir, I know you told me not to worry about the cost, but the only thing we had left was a foreign aged ale. It goes for... Oh, okay. Yeah.
When we're done with the barrel, I want you to go inside and scrape out the jelly type stuff at the bottom, and we're gonna make a sandwich.
I'll let the kitchen know.
It's something you've never even considered, and you're gonna have one of these sandwiches because I like... What's your name, kid?
My name, sir? Ulysses.
Ulysses. Go and get yourself a drink. Take a little out of the tip jar. Come over here, get a game in with us. You're gonna have one of these sandwiches.
Oh.
I insist. And like, I'm grabbing his shoulders, pushing him around, really excited.
I mean, if a hero wants to have a drink with me...
I want to have a drink with everybody.
And he kind of runs around. So you sort of have this game going. Do you think you guys are playing cards?
Yeah.
How much are you anteing in this?
I think we're playing cards, and ante is probably more than it should be, but I'd say we're like looking at like handfuls of gold. At least from me. I don't think I pay attention to how much anyone else is like, this looks like enough for everybody. And I just kind of throw some gold into the pot.
How much do you think you have left in your pockets after just throwing it all out like that?
In my pockets currently, I would say I'm probably pushing like, I think I have probably about 50 gold pieces left. But I have, I would say, like a full, like, handheld satchel of unminted gold nuggets that I won maybe earlier today or earlier in the week. And I figured those are kind of carrying their own weight in this, like, mystique of, like, that's a hero's gold nuggets. Like, oh my god, you know?
Roll me really quick as this game is going. And you're hammered. So I want you really quick. Just roll me, quick perception check. See what's going on at the table.
Okay. So I am a belligerent drunk. I'm also a cheater. And so I've been blessed with the ability to bless myself and others. I currently have my ability active where I get an additional D4, and I've also given myself guidance. So I have 2 D4s on my roll. 25.
25. Okay. So through your drunken haze, you see that there's guys at this table who are not playing fair. And sure, you don't play fair, but what matters here is that they're not playing fair. You see some guys counting cards. You see one of the guys really quickly slip a card that he needs into his sleeve so he can pull it back out later. And they're kind of writing you off to just be out of it drunk. So they have no idea that you can see what they're up to. What's your next move to win back all your money?
I do not draw attention to it. Like, I hope fate is on my side. And I go all in.
You go all in. Okay. Here's what we're going to do for this to decide the winner. I'll have you roll let's say, I'll give you a choice here. I'll give you a choice for how you want to approach this game. You're going all in. Are you going to try to cheat, or are you going to let Lady Zenith will it and see what happens with your hand?
I let myself will it, and I just am naturally blessed and lucky, and so I get 2d4s because I'm going to keep those abilities active.
Perfect. Then I am going to have you roll another perception check just to see if your drunken mind can perfectly time when these other guys are going to pull out their cheats so that you can counter them and take the gold.
27.
Perfect. That'll do it. So even though you stink of liquor and you're getting real close to that jelly at the bottom of that barrel, you perfectly tell when these guys are planning to cheat the game to try and get it in their favor. And you manage to time your own counterplay in such a way that you manage to win the pot. You see the other guys at the table, they're starting to groan. The one barkeep that rolled out the barrel for you, he can't believe it. He's stunned. He's so excited.
I'll be taking all of this. And one last thing. Gold for everybody! And I scoop it all up and just make it rain.
Yeah, the people are pumped. They're cheering. They're excited. They're super into it.
Another round of drinks.
And the kid comes up to you and he says, I'm so sorry, sir. He's got a little jar on him since the making it rain happened. He kind of scraped out all the jelly from the barrel and he's got it in like a little jar. The kitchen staff went home for the night. I really don't know how to make this sandwich, but the kitchen's open. The door's unlocked if you want to go in there and do it.
Give me the jar. Give me a spoon, and I will be taking my lead.
Here you go, sir. And he hands you both. And he says, again,
That was a really good, eating
sound. That was really good. That was really impressive.
Thanks. I eat a lot of stuff. I'm known for eating, I'll be honest.
So the kid is like, thank you so much again. I'm going to use this money to buy myself a new pair of boots. I really need them. I'm going to start going working the wine so I can be like you and have a lot of gold.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And I just go in and get more gold and just sprinkle it into his hand. There you go. Use that. Live by money. Live by pleasure. Don't be a hero, and you'll have a wonderful life.
Aren't you a hero? Oh.
No. I'm Ansel. I begin to walk off. Just staggeringly walking off.
So as you start stumbling out, you think you walk outside and embrace the night air?
I throw up immediately.
Step outside. You feel like a nice rush of cold breeze and then just vomit.
And then I keep eating my fermented jelly. Yeah.
And then beside you hear, whoo.
Does the familiar have a name?
We'll call him Zap.
Zap. Oh, my old friend Zap. Were you sent with money? And I begin checking the bird for money, any coin bags or anything.
You don't find any coin bags, but you do find a ribbon with a note attached.
Oh, Zap, you brought me a note from... Unroll it.
For however well as you can read when you are this drunk, it's telling you in a single sentence to head to Hersison's Vein and that there is a saloon on site.
I'm sure they'll buy me a drink when I get there. I'm going to go back inside and be like, barkeep, barrel to go. And I'm just going to take liquor to go over the shoulder and just start walking.
Do you think you take a whole barrel with you?
Yeah, if I can carry
jelly
it.
Jar in one hand, barrel up here.
What are the open carry laws here?
Yeah. I put it in a brown paper bag, a big ass brown paper bag.
And as you walk into the night, we'll fade out on Ansel. Each of you are probably pretty scattered throughout the Feraelands right now. It probably takes you a couple of days each to make it to the West Coast, to get to Herstenson's, depending on where you are. And on the day that each of you start arriving and you make it to Herstenson's Fane, which you all know is one of the largest mining camps in the northwestern colonies. As you all start making it there, you can see the living conditions of the place, because mining camps are just places where they send young and old guys to work and dig up all the gem and gold for the families that were able to get in on it and sell it early, right? And make the riches. So as you all start making your way, however you do, you see wooden shacks and tents occupying the mines that all look hastily crafted at best. You also see a couple of rudimentary pop-ups that take the role of saloons or general goods stores that sell rations, to keep the men working in good enough shape to keep going. Even in the broad daylight, many of the older men walking around on the site are seen stumbling with flasks and carrying the stench of dirt and muck and hard spirits on their clothing. Interestingly, though, as you all make your way here, while the mining sites that you've seen and done quests for in the past have been sort of cleared out of any kind of vegetation or plant growth, this one is uncharacteristically covered in fungal growths, mosses, and other types of vegetation. It's a little bit weird, especially considering where you all are. As the four of you really start to make your way into the heart of this mining camp, maybe even from all different directions, what do? You might even see each other, might even make awkward eye contact. It's been a while since you've all been together.
I will probably make awkward eye contact with somebody. I do not acknowledge anybody. I just go to where I'm supposed to, like, it looks like I'm supposed to go. Maybe even just kind of, like, do that thing of, like, tightening up, like, straightening out my jacket and maybe, like, adjusting my hat so it, like, pulls down over my eyes a little bit more and just continues walking.
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's a point for all of you to meet. Obviously, there's sort of a workman's manager of the mind, named Elmer, and you see like this really shabbily put together office that just says Elmer H, sort of written into the wood with like a stone or something. It's very unprofessional, but it's the best that they could do. So you kind of start heading over to that shack. What about the rest of you?
I don't know. I think I'd be happy to see everyone else. Whoever I see first, I'd be like, "Oh, it's good to see you guys again." And her gear is going. She's gonna be wearing her gear already, and it's like a dark green scale mail with her cloak that changes with whatever's around her to help her hide. And she's gonna have her gun out, her Jazale, which is like a long musket that's decorated, and all her gear is pristine. It has all these pockets on it. It looks like she's been taking like careful care of everything she owned, and but she is noticeably aged in this time. Definitely has crow feet in her eyes, and she's much skinnier than she used to be, but she kind of has like a genuine smile when she sees everyone and is happy to see them.
Yeah, I think Judisha, as she's walking, is just like mumbling prayers, as she does constantly. Just, gotta represent.
Gotta start the day right,
Yeah, gotta start this. I don't think she immediately notices anyone. Also, I have the worst perception known to man, so there's that. So she does kind of like zone out as she's walking. I think seeing Yara, she'd maybe perk up and be like, "Oh, hello!" Like with your, how happy you approach. She would obviously respond in kind, and I think she respects you in a sense, like enough to be like, "Wow, you look well. How have you been?"
Oh, just listening to people complain and argue. That's pretty much what my life has been. That's nothing interesting. What about you? You've been You look like you've been. I've been hearing stories about you, getting into fights, cleaning up all the bad guys around. How's that going?
It's going wonderfully. As you know, we must cleanse the streets of those unwilling to be saved. So
I think on that I probably have I have great perception. I have really high wisdom, and so I think I see my my sister and Yara. It's like, oh, Judy, my aging sister, and Yara, beautiful as ever. And I like throw an arm over Judith, and I stink.
I think her expression sours so fast just at the sound of your voice. And just...
Judy, did I hear you're still beating up people who don't deserve it? Is that what I clocked there?
You know as well as I do that they very well deserve it.
Oh, deserve. You're such a... Yara?
It's good to see you again.
It's great to see you. Have either of you seen Thalia?
No, I just got here.
I thought that was your lady.
No, not since... No, I just was hoping to not run into her solo, but I'm glad we're all together. We can all go...
Gang is all back together.
You guys want to go to the bar?
Maybe we should find out what's up first.
Oh, well,
then we can sit down and have a chat,
My missive said to come and drink. And I, unroll it.
Oh, well, if that's what...
Yeah,
that's what the Golden Lady said.
Well, I don't really
might
care
as well,
what the
right?
Golden Lady said.
Your gear's not looking too great. You want me to mend it up for you? And I'm going to cast mend. Some of your gear. Fix it up.
I have a crack in my shield.
Oh, yeah, here you go. And I'll cast mend. And then I'm going to take out my paint. Draw a little triangle on it. And you can feel like it gets strengthening. So you get a +2 to your armor class while using it.
I hope your mending skills are strong enough to mend the smell.
Oh, unfortunately, I can't do anything about that.
Oh, is that me? I thought I stepped in something.
You might have.
Talia, you're kind of standing over close to where you all are supposed to meet up. And I definitely think they're probably loud enough for you to hear the group. And you definitely smell Ansel before you see him.
I just sigh, one of the heaviest sighs of, oh God, I have to confront 3 people I haven't talked to in however many years, of just... Fine. And I'll just adjust my hat once more and turn around to, casually walk up.
Talia, how you doing?
Howdy. Yara.
Hi.
Judisha.
How are you?
I'm alright.
You look great.
What's going on here?
We were gonna head to the tavern. My missives told me to come and get a drink in town, and I figured that it was gonna be on somebody, so I figured it's probably on one of you guys, right?
It's not me.
Judy, I know you're good for it. Start grabbing your shoulders and rocking you.
Perhaps you should dry out first, brother.
No such thing.
On that, you hear the creak of a door opening furiously behind you all from Elmer H's office. And a small gnomish man, about 3.5 feet tall, rushes towards you all. He's wearing a pair of worn working overalls and a dark blue button up top. He's also wearing a large brimmed hat. As he sort of is running over and waving at you all, he takes it off and he starts kind of fanning himself with it. He's covered in sweat, and he approaches you all and he says, "Oh my golly goodness, I cannot believe y'all actually came. I sent multiple messages to the church because I just don't know what to do here, and none of the mercenaries or adventurers around these parts want anything to do with the mining camps and what we've got going on. So I am so glad that you're here. I cannot state enough how happy I am to be noticed by Lady Zenith's chosen for. That is wonderful. What is that smell?
Oh, it's the chosen smell that Lady Zenith likes to greet everyone with.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pardon my brother.
well, I was just wondering if there's a new type of incense or something that we should start burning at our chapels.
You could go ahead and go to your nearest horse pen and just scoop up anything that's on the ground and start burning it, and that's just about worth anything Lady Zenith might have to say.
Right. Well, clears his throat. I actually sent a letter into the church because, well, obviously, apologies, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Elmer Hurstison, third son in the Hurstison line, but the most responsible to take over the mines. And we just brought in a new team of young boys to work in the mines. Just came age to do it, make some money for their families. And they installed an air pipe so we could dig a little deeper, find a little bit more gold, gems. The vein's starting to run a bit dry, so we're trying to get as much out of it as we can before we pack up and move somewhere else, right? Well, when my boys were down there, they came out a-running and a-screaming because they swore on their lives that they saw some kind of demonic creature down there. Now, I don't dabble with the occult. I've never once talked to one of the Nine Devils down in the Hells, never once made a warlock pact in my life, never once walked into a church in Nadir looking for abyssal demonic powers. But my boys said that they found this little scaly black creature with milky eyes running around, and it damaged the air pipe. So we can't get our work done. We can't get down there and dig any further because these little abyssal creatures, I'm worried that there might be some kind of portal or something to the pit down there. And, well, all my men are too scared to go down there and work anymore, which is a problem. We got deadlines and quotas to meet.
I see. Well, this is a rather easy problem to solve. I could detect that sort of thing, decide if there is anything of that sort down there, and deal with it.
Well, that would be just incredible. I'd really appreciate it if y'all could go in there and figure out what the problem is.
Of course, that is the way of our goddess.
Now, I would also like to mention that I know that we work a hard job here on the mining camps, but we've been here for about a month, and other than the young men, we've also got men working on this site that have been in this profession for decades. And there's something, ever since they spotted that little slimy scaly thing, there's been something weird going on with my guys. Some of them have been waking up so sick and tired they can barely lift themselves out of bed. I don't know if it's some kind of a plague that's made its way to the west, but it's never been like this on any of the mining sites we've worked before. Maybe a couple of, bullets here and there digging stuff up, but never something making men sick. I don't know if this has anything to do with what we think is a demon down there, but I thought maybe it'd be good for y'all to know.
Is it only affecting the older workers?
It's everyone. Even some of my young boys are getting sick.
Oh, good to know. Well, we should probably get right on it.
I'll take y'all to the mouth of the cave, and I think that you all should have everything you need. I was told after you all finish up cleaning up down there to see me, I have something for y'all. But he walks you through the camp.
Oh, hold on. While we're walking through the camp,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, is there like a body of water or something we can clean up on real quick?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got all kinds of soap and water here that we use to help clean up the boys. Or are you wanting fresh drinking water? Because I can get y'all some of that as well.
No, I just my equipment's very sensitive, needs to be cleaned. So yeah, can we just go where we can get stuff cleaned?
Oh, of course. My apologies. I'm in such a rush about all this. I left my manners at the door. And he walks you over to a really shabby bathhouse adjacent. It's really kind of like buckets of water that they've been pooling to kind of rinse themselves off with, and they have some cheaply made soap that you could use as well.
I cast message to Judicia and Talia, and I'm gonna be like, get ready to hold Ansel down.
I'm already like readying hold person because I caught on the immediately.
I was like, oh yeah, I just need to clean my gun really quick. I'll only be a minute. I'm gonna pick up a bucket, and then I cast message and I say now.
Yeah, I'll cast hold person on my brother.
Perfect. What's the spell save DC for that?
I believe it is 16.
Said 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like I fail.
Nice.
But as a reaction, could I summon my echo behind my sister?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it.
And once I get hold person, I just want to... Oh, I can't, because I can't move. I can't swap. So I just summon it. I'm like, sister, please. Sister, it's fine.
What does your echo look like? Does it look exactly how you look now? Or do you think it looks like younger heroic Ansel?
So all of my magic, which I don't think we've seen a lot of, is a lot like Judicia's. It's the holy chains of light. It is all very similar. It's very holy, as much as I may not be anymore. And so it is this... Even though it's like echo and like kind of shadow based, it is like almost, it's the heroic version of me. It's who you would see in the murals.
Yeah, so as soon as you get like paralyzed from this hold person, then the heroic, put together, picturesque version of you just pops up right behind your sister.
Sister, please. Really,
I'm gonna dump the bucket on him.
I can bathe my set.
And then once he's nice and wet, I'm gonna cast Wind Wall on him to blow dry him off. That's a level 3 spell, by the way. I'm burning for this.
Yeah, burning level 2 spells.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Ansel smells like ivory soap now. He's clean.
I could have bathed myself. You guys know
Well, obviously you couldn't, brother.
Oh, well, obviously I could. I hadn't. I just walked here from who knows where, and you're just judgmental. You know that?
Right.
Yeah.
Look, we're gonna be in a cave with you. I couldn't let that. I can't.
Yara, I'm not even upset at you. I'm upset at Judy.
I think we're all upset here.
I'm actually very excited.
Yara's the only one here who's excited for this reunion. Elmer's kind of looking at all you guys, and he's like, y'all are the real close and friendly types, aren't you?
Yeah, and I grab them and I hug them all real close.
In the sense that our goddess binds us together indefinitely, I'd say yes.
In the sense that the goddess binds us together indefinitely, I'd say yes.
I like punch him in the shoulder. Like that older sister kind of like, shut up.
Well, that's just wonderful. Do any of the rest of you need a good rinsing, or are we good now? I don't want to impose on whatever you've got going on. I just figured I'd ask.
No, hopefully. I think we are all squared away.
Yep, we're all good.
By the way, Miss Yara, I've been seeing some of your political flyers come in around some of the settlements.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful what you're doing for the Feraelands.
Oh, thanks. Yep, it's a lot of work, but I'm sure it'll all be good in the long run.
If I lived in that part of the region, you'd have my ballot in a second. But I'll show y'all to the mines now. And as he kind of starts walking you guys toward the mine, you can kind of see this mix of young and naive workers who are really just trying to take some money home for their families that are struggling post-war, right? Or people that have moved to the West for the first time. And you also see more experienced, maybe jaded workers kind of drinking away because none of them want to go back into the mines right now. And some of them are kind of tending to scuffs and wounds that they've gotten from working. And as you guys kind of walk through, you notice that a lot of these younger workers, even the ones that seem to be kind of afflicted with this strange exhaustion and sickness, they're looking towards all of you in awe. shouting towards you all that they've heard the stories and that they can't believe that they're seeing you and even that you're real. How does that make you all feel, especially after being torn apart for so long?
Well, I think it's very obvious how Judicia would take that. I think she's beaming, you know? She's taking it all in with as much pride as she possibly can, and is walking with that sort of like confidence and pride as she waves to these people with smiles.
Because you've never done anything wrong ever.
Everything I've ever done was in the word of my goddess, and I believe it wholeheartedly.
I look pretty much the opposite, just dejected. I don't want them cheering for me, for us specifically in this reason. And I think I even lean into Judicia, and I'm just like, maybe try to look less proud of all the lives you took when these men cheer for you.
Hey, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet, am I right?
I suppose, but you just keep dropping omelets at a point we're gonna run out of eggs.
Yeah, well, that's for our god to decide, not for us. And so I'm going to get close to Judicia, and I'm going to have a little paint on my thumb, and I'm going to press it onto her weapon. What weapon do you use?
I use it's a gavel, it's a hammer.
Okay, so it starts to glow, so you get a +1 to attack, and it glows in a 30-foot radius light. And it has 4 charges, so you can expend a charge to cause an attacker to be blinded at the end of their turn.
Oh.
Unless they succeed a Constitution saving throw.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, here you go. Help us fight the monster in there.
Good old pat on the back.
Yeah. Thank you, Yara. You are always so helpful.
Always happy to help.
As these cheers start dissipating and you reach the mouth of the cave, maybe it's from the concern that Elmer has, but there's an odd eeriness coming from it. Maybe it's even from the mention of the pit or the abyss or demons. Something that even in all of your years of adventuring, you very rarely have come across, mostly dealing with petty fiends or devils. As you reach the mouth of the cave, Elmer's sort of backing off a little bit, and he says, now, the mine shaft is pretty easy to navigate. There's just a cart rail that goes straight down. You'll hear a whistling from the air pipe that was broken. It's leaking some of the air out. But once you find it, the tracks of that little critter should be close by. We already evacuated all the men, so there's no survivors in there you gotta worry about. It's all for you guys. Do what you want to, just don't cave anything in. We've got money to make down there. Thank you, and come see me once you take care of him. Let me know what was going on. He sort of leaves you guys to it. As you peer inside of the mine, it's clearly been in operation for a decent amount of time. Like Elmer told you, they've been there for a month, kind of working on it. And compared to the really shabbily constructed living conditions outside, all of the safety and support beams inside of the mine are extremely well put together. You see like these giant wooden beams kind of holding the cave up from caving in on itself. And you also see large metal barrels and containers that are filled with unrefined gems and recently harvested gold. You can also, even just standing at the mouth, hear this low, almost eerie whistle of musty air that's kind of wheezing through the mines, which, as Elmer told you, is probably from the broken air pipe. You can see torches leading down the rail that he told you about. But even as the torches kind of start to dim, you see almost this weird mossy glow happening towards the back of the passageway.
All right. Well, I'm like, we best prepare for this. And so Yara's going to kind of kneel down and start attaching some tools to her armor for easy use. And then she's going to look up at Talia and goes, what piece of equipment would you want me to improve, your weapon or your armor?
Let's do armor, please.
All right. So she's going to, on your back, draw a little triangle with her paint, and you get a +2 to your armor class.
Yeah. Thank you, Yara.
And I can infuse one more thing, so I could either make a little homunculus to scout the area ahead of us, or I can improve one of your guys' weapons or armor.
A little fella might be quite nice.
All right, I'm gonna out of my bag pull out a little robot hawk looking thing, and just go, all right, little buddy, and turn them on and throw them to go ahead of us.
Throw him down the path.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I accidentally bump into Thalia, and I'm gonna cast Warding Bond on her, but it's totally an accident. Oh, I apologize. I didn't see you there, Thalia. I'm sorry.
Tali, you see like a little flash of magic after he bumps into you.
Yeah, Thalia, on your I think on your right hand, on your ring finger, a little like chain, kind of like a golden like chain. Matching a golden chain that has just appeared on mine, and it's like an ephemeral golden chain, right? It's not real.
Yeah,
it comes in and out, and you have so it says willing creature. We're all friends, I assume we're willing.
yeah.
So as long as you're within 60 feet of me, you gain a +1 to your AC and saving throws, and you have resistance to all damage.
Oh, interesting. All right.
And then if you take the damage, I take damage. We take the same amount of damage.
Oh, okay. Fun. All right. I'll probably just, in response to you bumping into me, be like, I'm kind of hard to miss, but you know.
No, I didn't. I wasn't looking.
I'm sure you weren't.
I usually don't.
I'm aware. Anyways, I think we should get going now.
So, Yara, your little bird, as it flies, your little homunculus hawk, as it flies ahead of you guys, what kind of information can it relay back to you? Does it need to fly back to tell you the information, or is it sort of like a telepathic connection?
I don't think it has any kind of way of communicating. It just kind of... it's more to see, like, if it gets attacked or something, you know?
Okay. I guess as you guys kind of start making it towards the passageway, you can see maybe like a little light coming off of your hawk, as it almost like a little beacon flying through the cave mouth. You can see it going through the passageway, and nothing seems to be obstructing it. You see it kind of has to twist and turn a little bit to get around the stalactites and stalagmites that are branching from the cave, but other than that, it seems to be making pretty clear passage. Could one of you give me a nature check, please, as you start walking deeper into this mine?
A proposition. Could I do a survival check as I'm trying to see if I can find any, like, tracks or something as we're walking down?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll that. That'll be a 21.
Perfect. So as you all are walking deeper, you start to notice that as the torches kind of start to thin the deeper you go in, that just like the outside, there's a strange amount of fungi that glow with a magic that isn't familiar to this territory or this part of the world. As you kind of walk deeper as well, you notice that a lot of the pools of water here inside of the mine are stagnant, like they've been there for a long time. There's a bit of a sour smell emitting from them, which is something that you know from your adventures, even if you haven't encountered them much, isn't something that's typically associated with demons or even where demons dwell. Legends about portals popping up with demons coming through to the abyss are usually completely eviscerated with very little life around. For there to be fungal growths like this and the combination of having evidence of a scaly creature, you're starting to think that this might actually be some kind of dragon.
I, with that knowledge, will probably like gesture my hand out to like stop everyone, and be like, put my fingers to my temples and be like, I think we should stop for a second, just a second. This is some weird signs, and it looks like possibly we might be dealing with a dragon of sorts.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That's a way to put it, I suppose.
I disagree. It does not sound fun. We should turn back and get a drink and be on our way.
It's a very good thing I was going to waste energy just to try to detect if there were any sort of fiends of sorts. So, at least now we know that.
Yara's gonna start doing some stretches to limber up.
She's prepping herself.
Mm-hmm. Like, you guys should probably start stretching. No, we're getting up there. We need to make sure that your ligaments are all ready to go. Your muscles are all ready to go for this. Don't want to get a cramp.
My muscles are always ready, Yara, so.
Could one of you give me a quick perception check?
Well, I have a 6 to perception. I don't know. What else is better?
I got a 19.
So, Ansel, as you're kind of like, you know what? Maybe we should turn back, grab a drink. You catch the slightest glimpse of the milky eyes that Elmer reported way back in the distance, sort of reflecting the glow of one of the fungal growths, looking at you. And as soon as it sees your eyes and they meet, it darts away. And the rest of you sort of hear the scampering sound way in the distance because caves echo. But Ansel, you were the only one who saw that whatever's in here knows that you're here.
Not for nothing. Still think we should leave. Whatever it was did see us and knows what our faces look like now. So it could put out wanted posters for us. I think we should have skipped out.
Can dragons draw?
Also, most already know what our faces look like, brother.
Why
there's murals of us and stuff.
Why wouldn't dragons be able to draw?
Because they have big hands.
I have big hands, and I can kind of draw.
Yeah, but they don't have 5 fingers. They don't have thumbs. You gotta have thumbs to draw.
Do they not have thumbs?
I mean, I don't think so.
Well,
I've never seen a dragon with hands. They kind of have talons, right? Like birds.
I'm a little hurt.
What was that, Thalia?
I'm a little hurt.
Do you have thumbs?
I hold up my hands.
Yeah, see? You can draw. You have thumbs.
But Thalia, you're not a dragon. You're dragon-like.
I fail to see the point we're trying to make.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It can't make wanted posters of us. And then who's it gonna pay to kill us?
You know, if I'm gonna go find it. Actually, I feel just start walking in the direction it was.
Just start walking forward.
Yeah.
Do the rest of you follow?
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta make sure my dumbass brother doesn't kill himself. So.
I got myself into an embarrassing situation, so I was like bailing by going and fighting the dragon.
So as you all start marching deeper into the cave, the already kind of very limited air supply starts to thicken, which leaves this almost acrid taste in your mouth as you keep going forward. You all have probably fought a couple of dragons here and there in the past, coming across them to help small settlements that dragons just can't help but pick on, right? But even though something about this should feel mundane to some of you, maybe something that you've done in the past, after being apart for so long, do you think that makes it feel a little different? You're kind of walking deeper into this dark cave, and for the first time in years, you're tracking a monster that is somewhat familiar to you all.
I think Yara is kind of reveling in it, kind of being like, it's like the good old days, you know? I think she's excited to be able to be with her bros again.
Puts a little extra pep in her step.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? How do you think you're feeling right now?
I'm so unhappy to be here. I don't want to partake in this.
But you're right in the front.
As always, Judisha is here to do right by her goddess. I think seeing Yara be so excited about it kind of gives her a sense of this actually does kind of feel nice, you know? And it's less, a little bit less about duty and a little more I'm kind of around people that I know, and it's that familiarity is nice.
Mm.
Even though my brother annoys me. But we'll move past it.
What about you, Talia? How do you think you're feeling about this potential dragon situation?
Feeling a lot of feelings right now. I think in the formation, I'm towards the back. And there's 2 things going on. I think her face shows oh god, I'm here with these idiots. We're tracking a dragon ? What's going on? It's kind of unhappy, kind of confused. But her body language is very gives off something different of like, oh, I'm with people I know, and there's this sense of familiarity and like, maybe this might be okay. So there's two very conflicting like things I think going on right now for her. Just hanging out in the back, just kind of trailing along.
Does Talia use a bow and arrow? What weapon does she use?
Yeah, so she has this very like large bow that kind of looks like a sapphire like bird, as like the sort of where like the front part where there's not the string. It looks like that, like an outstretched like flying bird, pretty much. Yeah, so they're bow and arrows.
Okay, Yara's gonna be like, Talia, can I have one of your arrows?
Sure, and I'll pull one out and hand it to you.
So she's gonna reach in her pocket, pull out some goop, and attach it to the arrowhead, and then hand it to her, and be like, if you shoot it at it, it'll explode into a web. So basically, it'll use the spell web when she uses it.
That's pretty cool. Thank you. And I'll just take it and put it back in my quiver.
As you all start making it to the deepest part of this mine, which at this point, you've made it past almost everything that they've built on. So now it almost feels like a cavern. The hissing sound from the damaged air pipe is much louder now. And as that sort of reverberates through your ears, you see that this barely explored area of the mines starts to open up. You see some large stalagmites jutting out of the ground that you all can kind of get behind. But as this very large part of the cave kind of starts to open up and drop down, you start to hear the heavy shake of the ground beneath you, which you can all tell are footsteps, followed by small rustling. Do you want to get closer to these stalagmites to kind of look into this crevice that you've reached?
Shall we sneak? I'll kind of motion to like get down to sneak.
Do you guys want to give me like a group sneak?
Yeah, I will say I'm fully plated and also covered in beads.
Yes,
so.
same.
I'm gonna
stealthy.
I'm gonna really quick cast Pass Without Trace on
Perfect.
myself, and therefore you guys get a +10 to stealth.
I need it. I rolled a natural 1. Thank you for giving me.
What was the added for Pass Without Trace? 10?
It's a +10.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
I got 11.
Oh, wait. Oh, I got like 26. I'm good.
Perfect.
34.
I got 21.
Perfect. So we'll say that since you all rolled so well, you kind of see Ansel maybe like trip over a rock or something in front of him, and right before his armor kind of like clangs to make a sound, like all three of you grab him and like keep him up just enough to where it doesn't make any kind of clinking or clanging sound. And as you all kind of dive and hunker behind these stalagmites to look into this crevice beneath you, you see this giant pool of stagnant water, and the smell of mildew and like this rotten egg stench is kind of wafting up from it. You see 2 solid stone platforms that are ejecting from the pool, and you also see that there's sort of like a land bridge that you all are relatively close to. It's a pretty quick drop down from you. You see on the very far edge of the corner that there is a large nest made of uprooted moss and fungi, with 2 what you all can now, seeing them, identify as being deep dragon wormlings are sort of crawling back into the nest and getting close to an unhatched egg that's inside. You see surrounding the nest is a horde of, interestingly, different tomes, artifacts, and gemstones and gold that, for some of you, you haven't seen some of these materials since the war. A lot of it got destroyed. A lot of the things that was brought over when you all, when your families traveled and settled here, were demolished in the fires of war. But a lot of those historical relics are here in this, what you can probably decide now is a lair. So as you guys are kind of watching and you see these two wormlings crawl back into their nest, you see in the pool, just for a moment, a large head start to reach up from the pool, and you see this massive black, scaly, kind of almost purpley as well, dragon rise out. She has large, milky eyes, and you see her kind of look to her young, and it almost seems like they're communicating with each other.
All right, let's kill these things.
Hey,
Does Yara just say that?
Yeah, they'll say it softly.
I don't think we should do that.
I'm on Dahlia's side. Let's slow our roll here.
Let's not go in guns ablaze in there, Yara.
I have an idea.
I'll hear you out this once.
I'm going to make the big one listen to me, and then I'm going to tell it to take its family and leave.
Now how the damn hell are you doing that?
Magic.
You can't just whisper at me and say magic when we're looking at a bunch of dragons there, Ansel.
You've seen me walk on water, Thalia. You know I can do some interesting things. So am I allowed?
Sure.
Am I allowed to try this?
Let's ready up in case, this plan inevitably fails.
Your lack of trust in me is hurtful, Yara. If I recall, I've saved you at least 7 times.
Hey, I've probably saved you at least as many times, so it all kind of balances out.
You're wrong. That's not true.
Any hoozle. Let's just at least get things ready to go in case this plan of yours doesn't go well.
Okay. Yeah, so Anna, I would like to cast Chaos. So it's 1 minute casting time. Range is 60 feet, so I'm gonna try to get within 60. If I'm not within 60 feet of it, I'm gonna try to get within 60 feet of it. And then, so I place a magical command on a creature that I can see within range.
Okay, perfect. I will say, since your group stealth check was so high, I'll say that you're probably able to shimmy yourself down onto that land bridge, because the land bridge is a pretty good distance above the pool. Probably about, the dragon and the wormlings are in their nest. They're probably like a plunge below you all. Right. Around maybe even 60 feet below. Okay. She's very comfortable in the water right now. So you can definitely shimmy down onto that land bridge. It's kind of made of the stalagmite, so it's very thick and sturdy for you to be able to stand on with no issue. And yeah, I think that would definitely get you close enough to be able to target her. Is that a saving throw?
Yes, it's going to be a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, perfect. Do you do anything as you crawl onto this, as you kind of shimmy down?
No, I'm just silently shimmying down, and then I'm like, all right, dragon, just listen to me. I don't want to have to fight you. And I'm just mumbling to myself, just leave. You and your children can go move somewhere else, and we don't have to do this. And then I begin casting my spell, and there's just these wisps of kind of magical light and commands almost that are just filling the room like filting feathers, I think.
Perfect. And then what is your spell save DC?
20.
20. She met it.
I just look back at the group
I'm gonna get a night storm ready to go. I have it locked and loaded.
She's not gonna attack me. I'm just laying down.
So yeah, she met the DC. She doesn't know that you tried to charm her. So she's still kind of just there checking on her young. In fact, she even kind of now pulls herself out of the pool of water and kind of slithers over to her wormlings and kind of checks the nest. You see her reach back into the pool of water, and she pulls out like just some giant fish that she's dived deep. Maybe this connects to another body of water somewhere. And she's pulled out like this giant fish, and she throws it into the nest, and the little wormlings start like munching on it. So she's still just kind of doing her thing. She hasn't noticed you all are there yet.
I'm going to use message on Ansel and be like, do you want me to take the shot? They're all next to each other. I can just hit them all right now.
I can respond to message, right?
Yeah, you can.
Hang on, I'm still casting the spell. And then I have earrings of message as one of my like minor magic items that I was able to get. And I'm gonna click it and I'm gonna message Thalia and be like, the spell didn't work. You're up next. Don't let them take the shot. I don't want to fight this dragon.
I think her face is like just like, oh my god. What do you want me to do? I think that's what she responds back, because she can respond back, yeah? What do you want me to do?
Stop asking questions. I only have 5 uses of this earring. Just, you didn't want to kill a dragon. I don't want to kill a dragon.
Get your ass back up here.
I start shimmying back.
As you shimmy, just give me a quick dexterity check to see if maybe you kick a rock or something on your way back up.
I got a 14.
Roll a quick perception check. You don't know if she heard you as you make your way back up to the top.
Guys, I got back and I'm positive she didn't hear me. It seems like the spell didn't work, but Thalia has a plan.
Okay, if the plan involves me shooting ice on it, then we already got step 1 ready to go. This spell's got a 20-foot radius. I could hit them all right now. They're all right next to each other eating.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, anyone here speak dragon? Knows what dragons want?
I do.
Well, it looks like they want magic stuff, so do you have any magic stuff to give it?
Could I try to do either a, like, perception or, like, survival check to see, like... I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Like, what's, like, I guess going on, and if they just, like... I guess read to see if they intend to, like, stay here, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you wanting to know more about deep dragons themselves as well? Like,
yes, I would like to, like, what their usual, like, is this normal? I guess is kind of also what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, yeah. Give me a survival check.
That'll be a dirty 20.
Perfect. So you've never directly encountered a deep dragon, but you know that these beasts are pretty rare, and their mannerisms and the way that they behave are very similar to that of a salamander. So the fact that it has a nest isn't necessarily a strange thing. It might just be waiting for the wormlings to be a little on their own more before just letting them go off on their own. And the horde makes sense as well, because there are plenty of stories and rumors that deep dragons like to hoard secrets, and they like knowledge, especially knowledge from different points in time or even far off lands. Even though they look very monstrous in their appearance, deep dragons are very intelligent, and from the stories that you've heard, are pretty well-read creatures. That said, a lot of them do operate by wanting to be able to get something in return. They're usually not the nicest dragons to have to deal with or have a conversation with. You can tell also from your role, kind of just looking at the nest and the fact that there's a fresh egg in there, that this is somewhere that this dragon and her young feel very safe. they've probably been here for a while. And based on the story that there was a small slithering thing that broke the air pipe, you can kind of gather that one of the wormlings probably damaged the air pipe on purpose.
Yep. All right, just what I thought. Cool, great.
Do we know what element, like, the deep dragons use?
Sure, like their kind of breath weapon and what kind of damage they deal. Yeah. So you know that deep dragons, they like to live in spots with lots of like fungal or even like poisonous mushrooms, but they mainly deal psychic damage.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here's my plan. We leave.
But then we'd fail our mission. We were sent here by Zenith. We can't just abandon the mission.
You see all of this, and I gesture around to like all of the like moss and like water and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've made their home here, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of them little wormlings were trying to get these mining people out of said home.
Yeah, but it's our mission from our goddess to get them out of here.
Well, it's our mission from your goddess to solve the problem. You're just being forward about the problem.
Yeah, I just like simple solutions. And
right.
killing them seems like the quickest and simplest.
That's why you went into government, right? The simple solutions.
I think so. The simple solution is to just leave them be.
I propose. What if perhaps we, you make magic stuff, Yara?
Yeah.
Perhaps we offer them some magic stuff from Yara, in exchange for them to give us any of the remaining jewels that might be in the cave, and we give it to the people, and they move on to their next town, and the dragons stay here, and everyone's happy, and I get a drink.
But didn't they say there was gems and stuff here? It's just a matter of time till they come back.
That
seems like a short-term solution.
Get the gems, and we give the gems to the people.
Well, no, they're mining, but there's more gems down here. They haven't finished mining.
That's neither here nor there. We could finish the mining by telling them the mining's done and giving them the remainder of the gems that we can access right now.
It seems like a short-term solution, is what I'm saying.
Kind of like some of your policies, no?
Look, I just do what's best for my people, and what's best for my people is getting some income in the area. So we need to get this mine back working.
It's a false income anyways. The town goes down in, a month, and they move on. It makes no difference.
They're just going to come back.
No, they could just pack up and go elsewhere.
And they could come back when the dragon leaves.
Or they may just never come back, and that's okay too.
They're going to come back if they know that there's gems down in this mine.
What if we tell them there's no more gems down in this mine?
How would we know? We're not miners.
We lie.
Why would we do that?
I'm positive you know about lying.
I try my best not to lie. But that doesn't change the fact that in time there's going to be 2 more deep dragons running around.
And what's the problem?
And 3. Actually, there's an egg, right? So eventually there'll be a 3rd one, too.
And how does it feel on your conscience to murder a mother and her children?
They're monsters.
They're dragons.
That's a mother and her children.
Speaking of the egg, Thalia, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. If I were to pick an egg and
Don't
run,
do that.
would they
Don't
follow
do that.
me?
I'm not going to answer you. Anyways, I think the best bet here is just we leave. We let them be.
Well,
it's as simple as that.
Again.
Judisha, how are you feeling hearing them argue about all this? Where's she at right now?
Okay. I think her thought process is, why were we actually sent here? Because this is kind of... Because dragons aren't exactly against our god, are they?
Well, Zenith sent you here for justice, and from what Elmer told you, and from what you know about Zenith, is that Zenith loves mortals. She loves her sentient creatures that are building a life on the lands, and to her, seeing her mortals be able to thrive and live good lives is paramount above all else. So when you're thinking about why you were sent here, it could be for a number of reasons. It could be because word made it to the chapel that they believe there to be a demon here, which is what, the young men reported. Or it could even just be something as simple as an extermination job.
I see.
I have a follow-up question. I apologize.
No, go for it.
So we know that something weird is going on with some of the men also, though, right? It's not just...
Yes, they're getting sick.
Okay, would that go hand in hand? Like, I think maybe I bring it up to Thalia, and I'm like, do the dragons explain the sickness? Thalia.
Would I have to make a roll for that or something?
From your survival check from earlier, and just kind of discerning that these are the types of dragons that like to live around acrid materials or poisonous fungi, you can piece together that because of the mother's maturity as a dragon and the types of fungi that are growing around the area, it's causing spores to be emitted that are making these men sick. But if they left or if she was killed, the plant growth caused just from her innate draconic magic would dissipate and the fungi would go away.
I would get uncharacteristically close to you, Ansel.
You smell very nice.
And be like,
Oh, Dahlia, hi. How are you?
shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up.
Sorry.
It's the fungi
Ah.
that's making them sick, I think.
Oh, okay, so they're allergic to mushrooms.
It's mushroom. It's doing mushroom things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they're getting sick.
What if we just talk to the dragon? I think we should just talk to the dragon.
Speaking of the dragon, when's the last time you all looked over the edge?
I've been staring at... I've got my ice storm ready to go on it at all times, so I'm looking at it.
So, as Ansel says, why don't we just talk to the dragon? Yara, you're laser honed in, and you see this mother shoot her head upwards and make eye contact with you.
Well, she knows we're here. So, if you're going to talk, you better start talking.
I jump up and I go, "What's your name?" I come in peace.
You hear this sudden loud rush of wings as she beats them down onto the ground, and you hear the stagnant water begin to ripple as she pushes herself upward into the air. The cave opening is wide enough, almost just wide enough, for her to propel herself upwards and look at all of you. And she sort of tilts her head a bit, and she speaks to you in common, and she says, I have seen the different flyers and books about Zenith's heroes. I did not think that they were real. I have never seen them come this far. But here you are, in my cavern, with my young. What's brought you this way?
Take no offense. Your spores are making the people sick.
I know.
Oh. Okay. Right. Well, so the people don't want you in here. You don't want them in here, I'm assuming, right? Anyone feel free to jump in at any time. I don't want to have to lead this. I'm so stressed out.
Right. And as she speaks, you see this kind of pooling of like black goo, kind of like almost like a Komodo dragon, how they kind of ooze or secrete that black saliva. It's kind of dripping from the sides of her mouth. She gives all of you a look. How do you all stand kind of facing her?
I've got my gun ready to go.
I'm directly in front of the group, just kind of like I'm trying to cover up as much as of them behind me as I can physically, in case any breath weapon does occur. I will just take the brunt of it.
Talia and Judicia, how do you feel?
Probably still like, because I was imagining like I was like kind of crouched down as we were watching Ansel do whatever Ansel was doing, and so I think I'm still like crouched down, looking up at this dragon. I think partially in awe of just like this creature and this being here, kind of, and just hanging out, hearing her out, seeing what she's got to say, you know?
Is it true that you all helped bring balance between the hells and the surface?
Hell yeah.
That's what they say. That's balance is tenuous.
We won the war.
Balance is a tenuous thing, isn't it?
We won a war. Yes, balance is a tenuous thing.
That's how I felt when the mortal men began building that pipe into our home. Do you know how much of my potential hoard they've stashed away for themselves? Money that those men will not even take home to their own families. But that is the way of the land that you all helped forge, right?
Yeah.
Conceptually, there's some flaws for sure. I'm more here because I would like to get some drink later today. And I would like to do it not sore and beat up and tired. I feel you would like to not have to deal with us in the same vein that we would not like to have to deal with you. And
how do you intend to do that?
I don't intend at all to do that.
Do you intend to leave my lair, tails tucked beneath you, telling the miners to run as fast as they can?
If that's how this rolls down, probably. I'm going to level with you. If a scuffle starts, I'm going to stand in the back. And I'm not going to do anything. I don't really fight anymore.
You would watch your companions die.
They're not going to die.
You do not think so?
I think they'd be a little hurt.
And if you saw them hanging from my jowls?
It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Okay. So you don't know my friends, Dastardly at times. War-hardened. Feel they're in the right often.
Has-beens, right?
Yes. But mainly what I'm saying is that, and this is not a threat, please don't take it as such. It is just the truth. You have two very glaring weaknesses that I have friends who will exploit. I will not. Again, I'll stand in the back. I don't...
And what are those?
Come on. I pull out a flask and start taking... Okay. I guess I'm in charge of this. So, before we continue hurling, as funny as I think they are, insults at each other,
She flaps her wings.
I would like to make a proposition to you, Great Dragoness. You give us a couple of gems, we leave, we say all the gems are gone, the town packs up and leaves, and you mind your business.
But that wasn't our mission.
It was our mission.
That is what you...
Yara,
That's
our
not
mission.
the mission.
It is. Our mission is to solve the problem. That is a solved problem.
That's not solving the problem.
Am I the problem?
You're just pushing the problem to the side and hoping it works out. That's not solving a problem.
Yara, you're insufferable. Yes, Dragon, you're the problem. You are the problem. You're poisoning people. And people don't like being poisoned. And people like money, and you like money. And everyone wants something, and I just want drink. And my sister is kind of an asshole, and she's gonna kill you. And I don't want to watch you die to my sister. It's horrifying every time. I grew up with her. We were children together, and now I watch her kill people. I've seen her kill so many things.
I have lived longer, more days, more years, than she has ever raised her blade.
Dragon, are you resolute? Are you resolute in wanting to fight? Because I
never said I was looking to pick a fight, but it seems
Dragon,
that you are quite vivacious for one.
I am. So, look, this is going on for a while. You could either leave or we could kill you. Bada bing, bada boom.
The dragon tilts her head in the direction of Judicia and Talia, and you feel her milky eyes just digging into each of you. And she sort of points this questions, and she says, "You two look more of the sensible sort. Now, wouldn't you say, as you walked into this mine and you saw their rail carts and their metal contraptions that they have been taking from, that is this not my place by right? I am old, very old, have nursed many a wormling to young and adulthood as dragons. I have been here longer than these so-called Feraelands have ever existed, and yet you sort, the heroes, the chosen, as mortals call you, that you have the jurisdiction to come in here and tell me, because I am magnificent and powerful and strong, that it is wrong for me to continue to nurse my pups. Is that true?"
I am here to only carry out the word of my goddess and my lady. Whether that means to kill you or not is not up to me, but her. And I guess you. I only hope to solve a problem that was put in front of us.
And you, kin?
I would like to leave. I would like to not disturb your place in which you have seemingly made as a home. And I would like to tell these folks to leave. And that's my thought. I think that this is your place and that they are taken from it and that they should just pack up and go elsewhere.
Have you seen what these mining types do when they are told no?
I can only imagine.
It is either, I fear, for all of us, that you stay here and allow me to make an example of you to all of these miners in the Feraelands, or you leave and eventually the owner of the mine will send those young men you became so acquainted with singing your glory and your tales outside. They will send them in with pitchforks and torches to try and deal with me. What do you think will happen then? Hundreds of lives so you could save 4 that have, and I mean this as no offense to you all, aged out of their mortal prime.
Hey, I limbered up, so I'm ready to go.
She beats her rings again.
Well, you two were the ones who said it could be reasoned with, and obviously.
Obviously not. So?
Hold. Everyone hold.
Dragon's holding?
Dragoness. And I start taking steps back, like, behind my friends. And I think I just glow a little, and everyone gets little chains, like maybe kind of hooked to your, like, hands or something. And I'm going to emboldening bond everybody. So for the next 10 minutes, everyone has a D4 to everything they do. Just everything. Every roll you make, D4 gets added to it. Dragoness. I'm not the best with words. I do have some aged jelly from it's fermented, it's delicious. Perhaps we could find ourselves in a middle ground here, Dragoness, where you don't have to make examples of us and we don't have to watch people fight and die. I don't know.
So I think after you used Emboldening Bond, I think she really takes stock of your weaponry and your armor. And in almost that classic dragon fashion, there's sort of a gleam in her eye as she looks at you all and she says, "Do you know what I just realized, storybook heroes? What better way to polish out my glorious hoard and my wonderful nest than to add the trinkets of Zenith's very own chosen. I'll even display them next to all of my wormlings' favorite stories of you all." And you see her, she beats her wings one last time, and she starts to position. She sort of heaves and slams her clawed hands. I guess they'd be hands. Clawed feet? Talons down onto
They
the
don't have
land
thumbs.
bridge.
We established earlier they don't have
They
thumbs.
might have thumbs. We don't know for sure.
Can I do a perception check? Does she have thumbs? I got 21, so does she have thumbs?
She's kind of like, she's like one of those cats with 6 toes.
Oh no, she
Whoa.
has thumbs. We gotta get out
Yeah.
of
So she can draw. We might be fucked.
We're in trouble.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
She slams her 6-toed claws down onto the land bridge, and she starts to open her maw